The same week Sofia discovered she was pregnant, her husband handed her divorce papers. He didn't even look ashamed. Alejandro Vega leaned back in his chair, fingers wrapped around a glass of Rioja, wearing the smile of a man who believed he had just closed the deal of his life. "You'll be out by Friday," he said flatly. Sofia stared at the papers. 4 years of marriage, 4 years of loyalty. 4 years of standing quietly beside him while he built Vega Dynamics into one of the most powerful technology firms in Madrid. And now he was throwing her away like she had never existed. What Alejandro didn't know was that Sofia carried 2 secrets. One was growing inside her. The other was about to bring his entire empire crashing to the ground. The morning Sofia left, Alejandro wasn't alone. Lounging across the sofa of their penthouse apartment overlooking the Gran Via was Isabella, his sharp, ambitious head of strategy. She watched Sofia carry a single cardboard box toward the door and smiled slowly. "She's taking it so well," Isabella murmured. Alejandro swirled his glass. What choice does she have? He genuinely believed Sofia had nothing. The firm, the Salamanca penthouse, the hidden offshore accounts buried beneath layers of shell companies. The settlement he had quietly manipulated to leave her with almost nothing. He had planned every single move. He believed he was completely untouchable. Sofia paused at the front door. Her hand rested gently on her stomach for just a moment. Then she walked out without a single word. That silence made Alejandro feel invincible. But silence is rarely surrender. Sometimes silence is simply a woman choosing her moment. Within days, the Madrid media turned Sofia into a punchline. Headlines painted her as the discarded wife of a technology billionaire. Online comments were vicious. Isabella appeared beside Alejandro at corporate galas and investor dinners across the city. His world looked flawless from the outside. Meanwhile, Sofia moved into a modest flat near the old quarter of the city. No interviews, no statements, no tears shown publicly. She simply disappeared from his world entirely. That silence made Alejandro feel completely safe. He had no idea it was preparation. 3 weeks later, Vega Dynamics held its most prestigious annual event, the Investor Summit at the Grand Hotel Meliá. The ballroom glittered with power. Politicians, celebrities, financiers, journalists, everyone in Madrid who mattered was inside that room. Alejandro entered with Isabella on his arm. Camera flashes exploded around them. He felt like a king. Tonight was the night the board would officially confirm him as permanent chairman. Then the main doors opened. The entire room seemed to hold its breath. Sofia walked in. She wore a simple, deep burgundy dress. One hand rested protectively over her visible bump. Whispers spread across the ballroom instantly. Alejandro rolled his eyes. "You've got nerve showing up here." Sofia smiled softly. "I was invited." Impossible. But before Alejandro could say another word, the master of ceremonies stepped onto the stage. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced clearly, "we welcome this evening the majority shareholder of Vega Dynamics." The room erupted into applause. Alejandro straightened his jacket confidently. This was his moment. Then the spotlight shifted, not toward him, toward Sofia. The entire ballroom froze. Alejandro's smile collapsed. "What is this?" The chairman of the board stepped forward calmly. "Miss Reyes holds 53% of company voting shares." Gasps rippled across the room. Alejandro looked like he had been struck by lightning. "That is completely impossible." "No," Sofia replied quietly. "My grandfather founded this company 30 years ago in a garage in Seville." Every face in the room turned toward her. Alejandro felt his legs go hollow. "What?" Sofia took a slow, steady breath. "My family remained silent because we valued privacy above everything." She looked directly into his eyes without blinking. "But when you manipulated the financial records during our divorce proceedings, a dormant clause in the original founding charter was triggered." The chairman nodded gravely. "Our independent investigation confirmed corporate fraud, deliberate misrepresentation of company assets, and intentional deception of a Sullivan beneficiary." Alejandro's face turned the color of ash. The ballroom buzzed furiously. Journalists pushed forward to capture every second. Isabella quietly stepped away from his side. Like everyone else in that room, she could see the ship was sinking fast. "You set me up," Alejandro hissed through his teeth. Sofia shook her head slowly. "No, Alejandro, you destroyed yourself." The chairman slid a folder across the podium toward her. Inside were months of devastating evidence. Hidden accounts in Gibraltar, falsified quarterly reports, company funds stolen and redirected into personal renovations. Everything meticulously documented. Board members who had praised Alejandro just weeks ago now refused to meet his eyes. One by one they voted. The decision was unanimous. Effective immediately, Alejandro Vega was removed as chairman and terminated from the company. No severance, no authority, no future inside the firm he had convinced himself belonged to him. The room erupted, but nobody was celebrating Alejandro. They were celebrating Sofia. Security approached him from both sides. His face twisted with fury. "You cannot do this." Sofia looked at him one final time. Her voice was steady, but her eyes carried everything. "I stood beside you when no one believed in you." A tear slipped quietly down her cheek. "I loved you when you had nothing but ambition and borrowed confidence." The room fell completely silent. "You didn't just end our marriage, Alejandro." Her hand rested on her bump. "You tried to erase me." He opened his mouth. Nothing came out. For the first time in his life, Alejandro Vega had nothing to say. Security escorted him through the ballroom, past the cameras, past the investors, past every person who had once admired him. His empire vanished with every step. Sofia remained standing beneath the spotlight, one hand on her stomach, the other holding the future of the company her grandfather built. 6 months later, she gave birth to a healthy baby girl. She named her Esperanza, Hope. She rebuilt the firm from the inside out, protected hundreds of jobs across Spain, launched scholarships for single mothers returning to work, and became one of the most respected business leaders in the country. As for Alejandro, he spent years buried in criminal investigations and civil lawsuits. The man who believed he controlled everything lost it all, and every night Sofia rocked her daughter to sleep knowing one thing with absolute certainty: the greatest revenge is not destruction. It is rising so completely that the people who tried to break you can no longer reach you. If you have ever been betrayed, underestimated, or abandoned by someone who mistook your silence for weakness, this one was for you. Sofia never begged, she never broke, she simply prepared. And when she rose, nobody saw it coming. If her story moved you, drop Esperanza in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more powerful stories of betrayal, resilience, and the women who refused to stay down.